Good evening, my News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, police enforcing traffic laws to reduce road crashes. The Jamaica Constabulary Force is intensifying measures to reduce road crashes by strictly enforcing the road traffic laws, says Assistant Commissioner of Police Dr. Gary Mackenzie. One of the things that has been frequently asked is what are we doing as a police force to deal with the challenge we have on the roads. Over the past 5 years, we have issued over 500,000 tickets yearly for offenses, and these have not included arrest, he said. Mackenzie, who is head of the Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement Branch, was addressing the recent launch of National Road Safety Month 2025 at the Chambers Service Station in New Kingston. He informed that the JCF has executed warrants where persons have disregarded charges and have failed to attend to court. In fact, in 2024, we executed some 30,527 warrants, and so far this year, we have executed some 11,544 warrants, and we are not yet at half of the year. So we are doing some work. Our intention is to ensure that we do our best to reduce the kind of misdeeds that leads to crashes on our roads, he pointed out. In addition, the JCF has partnered with several organizations with the aim of promoting safe use of the roads through various road safety public education initiatives. We have partnered with companies, associations. We have held widely publicized meetings to educate and inform the country about the issues that have affected the ways we use the roadways. It is important to note that the efforts to improve road safety have been multifaceted and extensive. The Jamaica Constabulary Force has been participating in a number of initiatives, Dr. Mackenzie said. Information from the Island Traffic Authority indicates that for the first quarter of the year, January to March, road fatalities decreased by 15% compared to the same period last year. A total of 94 road fatalities were recorded during the period, resulting from 85 fatal crashes. While noting the reduction in fatalities, the PSTEB head said reckless use of the road continues to account for a substantial number of crashes. So far this year, we have lost 165 persons who have died on all roads, and this, of course, is in comparison to 179 in 2024. This is by no means anything to applaud because over 70% of those crashes are dangerous driving, persons just driving at excessive speeds, and so they crash into poles, into trees, into concrete, and they lose their lives, Dr. Mackenzie pointed out. Beeston Street buried in garbage, Denham Town residents say enough is enough. Denham Town residents in Kingston say the eyesore and inhumane living conditions caused by tons of uncollected waste may keep them from voting in the upcoming general election. Garbage and debris left scattered for weeks have made sections of Beeston Street impassable to vehicular traffic. When I vote, you know how long the place they stay so? Fly, rat, roach and worm take over and everybody a turn a blind eye. At the border this way everybody dump them waste. We live in the dump, said a woman who lives nearby. The residents say the area is cleaned and then it goes right back to square one. This is the worst we ever see it. No car can drive on that section of Beeston Street. If you walk past, you better cock your nose, a male resident told the news. Residents say the matter has been brought up with the Denham Town's political representatives. The National Solid Waste Management Authority is responsible for public garbage collection in Jamaica. St. Catherine man remanded for alleged gun attack. A man from St. Catherine who allegedly shot someone else during a fight was placed under remand until July 11, 2025 to appear in the High Court Division of the Gun Court. The accused, Kevin Rowe, is answering to a charge of possession of a prohibited weapon, shooting with intent, using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony, and unauthorized possession of ammunition. The case was transferred when it was brought up on Friday in front of Acting Senior Parish Court Judge Janelle Nelson Gale in the St. Catherine Parish Court. Allegations are that on May 31, Rowe attacked the complainant in Wallen District, St. Catherine, and reportedly fired shots at him. Following a report to the Linstead Police, an investigation was launched and Rowe was later charged. Woman heads to trial over thumb-biting clash. A heated verbal exchange between neighbors escalated, leaving one woman nursing a bite to her thumb and the other facing a criminal charge. The accused, Cyril Brown, is now before the St. James Parish Court on a charge of unlawful wounding. According to details revealed in court, the incident occurred approximately 11:55 a.m. on January 19, when the complainant was visiting a friend in Roos Heights, St. James. What started as the trading of barbs reportedly flared up into a full-blown confrontation. It is alleged that, in the heat of the moment, Brown bit the complainant on her right thumb, leaving a visible wound. While the severity of the injury is still to be determined by a medical certificate, it was serious enough to spark a police action. Brown was later arrested and charged. In a bid to settle the matter quietly, the case was steered toward mediation. But with no resolution emerging from those closed-the-door talks, the dispute is now back in the courtroom, heading toward a trial on July 2. With that date approaching, Brown remains out on bail, bracing herself for a legal battle that could leave a lasting mark on her reputation. Firearm and ammo recovered near Chinese cemetery. A Smith & Wesson M&P pistol was recovered by the police along Waltham Park Road in St. Andrew early Friday morning. Reports are that about 3:09 a.m., police on patrol along Waltham Park Road in the vicinity of the Chinese cemetery observed the two suspicious men within the cemetery grounds. The men reportedly fled upon seeing the police, leaving behind a brown leather bag. The police said a search of the bag revealed the pistol along with the two magazines. The weapon was seized and is now being processed for further investigation. The police said this recovery is a direct result of the alertness, diligence, and the tactical response of the officers whose dedication to duty continues to make a significant impact on reducing the threat posed by illegal firearms in our communities. Urging citizens to partner with the police in the fight against the crime, the Jamaica Constabulary Force said, "We continue to urge citizens to partner with the police in the fight against the crime. Illegal firearms and those who traffic them pose a clear and present danger to public safety. We call on all Jamaicans to stand united with us to rid our streets of guns, ammunition, and the individuals who are bent on disrupting the peace, maiming lives, and destroying the future of our country," the police said. Clarendon couple lose a false positive HIV test lawsuit. A Clarendon woman and her common-law partner have lost their lawsuit against Spalding's Diagnostic Medical Laboratory over a false significant psychological harm and emotional distress. Indiana Prendergast, who took the test in January 2010 as part of a life insurance application, said the preliminary result upended her life. She cited severe depression, insomnia, anxiety, and a breakdown in her relationship with her partner Omar Willis. Willis also claimed psychological damage, including adjustment disorder, financial strain, and stigma. The couple argued that the lab failed in its duty of care in handling the test, transmitting the results, and preserving confidentiality. However, as per a Gleaner report, Supreme Court Justice Chester Stamp ruled on June 3 that the laboratory followed the standard procedures, acted within medical norms, and did not breach its duty of care. Justice Stamp emphasized that a false positive HIV result, while unfortunate, is a known risk in preliminary screening and does not automatically constitute negligence. Any psychological distress suffered by the claimant cannot be attributed to any wrongful act or omission on the part of the defendant, he wrote. Although the lab contacted Prendergast's doctor shortly after the result, delays in communication, compounded by rumors in her community, further intensified her distress. A later test in August 2010 confirmed she was HIV negative. Despite this, Prendergast said the emotional damage had already been done. After more than 15 years since the initial test, the court has now ruled that the lab acted appropriately throughout the process. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.